that maybe now he's got more talent surrounding him in this way?
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I definitely think that adding some leadership, some older guys to that just helps him be supported more in some of the tough times that we're going to go through. Every team goes through that throughout the year, no matter how good you are. And I'm sure a lot of times in the past it fell on his shoulders a lot, and it will again. But I think we're going to be there to share that with him, and at times kind of talk about it in the room. And he doesn't have to always be a guy vocal. I think he's a guy that he lets us play, kind of do the work a lot of times. And yeah, I mean, I think we're just going to be there to support him.
Ted Colfin.
Hey, David, how do you guys, I mean, it's not just a lot of new faces, but it's a new coaching staff too. I mean, how do you guys bring it all, blend it all together and become comfortable with each other? Does it take some time, just do it every day at practice, or basically?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, in some of the skates leading up to camp, like you bumped into a coach or whatever at the rink, but they really kind of, it's still summer and they don't want to be too intrusive. You can tell they're antsy to get going. They're excited. They almost want to talk to you about stuff for the year right away. And then they kind of catch themselves. All right, never mind. I'll just talk to you later. Like kind of, they know that they don't want to give too much information too quickly. They want to have direction into their teaching. And I think we saw that even from the meeting we had last night to this morning before practice. Newsy was very direct, very vocal, just brought up some of the stuff that can be better as a team that we didn't do last year. Obviously I wasn't there, but the team no, I think it's exciting. He's a guy that's getting great opportunity for himself. I think all the coaches, again, like they had, I'm sure, many opportunities. They chose to come here. They're excited to be here and help this team take the next step. And same thing for me.
I mean, for you personally, it's got to be kind of nice that, you know, there are quite a bit of St. Louis guys here. Yeah. And then you guys did win. So you guys can kind of bring that type of element to this roster too.
Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, Hoos was kind of part of the Black Ace that at that time. I think Wally as well. I think Fabs played some games in playoffs, some games he didn't. Sonny and I, the first 2 rounds of that run, we played on the same line, on the second line with Jaden Schwartz. We had some success there. He's a guy, I think, for me personally, that I have so much trust in him. He's just a gamer. Like he's gonna do every little detail that we've talked about in our meetings this morning, that as a team we can do better. Blocking shots, just kind of playing hard, being there as a good teammate, all that stuff. And I think he's a key component to our group. And like definitely for me, it makes the transition easier. When I saw Hoos got traded to sign a few days before, kind of hear that there's an opportunity for me coming here that I get really excited about. Other guys from St. Louis. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like I've been in different situations throughout my career where I didn't know anyone or I knew some guys, but I'm just excited to join a group where just hearing Steve talk, all that stuff, we're ready to start pushing in the right direction. And kind of the dog days are hopefully over with this and we push in the right way.
Last one. I mean, let's face it, you've played a lot of games against the Wings. I mean, still a little strange putting on a Red Wings jersey today or the other day or whatnot, or what?
Yeah, it is quite honestly. And I didn't get some of my equipment until like last week, really. So I still had the Blues gloves on. It was kind of weird to skate with that still. Finally got them. Interesting story. When I was like 13, 14, I got some red, like Sergei Fedorov gloves or something. So it kind of reminded me of that when I put the gloves on. Yeah, no, it's pretty cool though. Like original 16 for me. I never had the chance throughout all the teams, the opportunities that I had in my career so far. Some really exciting times, but I think that's exciting for me too. Just getting to know Detroit outside all the area, getting my kids in school. Started with my son 7 playing minor hockey. Like for me, I enjoy so much going to the minor hockey rinks. Some of the rinks are pretty cold, all that stuff, but this is how you really get to know a community and the people. So it's been fun so far.
Good. Thanks for this, David. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
George Malik.
Hi, David. I was wondering if you could talk just a little bit more about the preparation that Newsy, I guess as we're going to call him, brought to today. You guys had like a 20-minute video session, and then it seemed that you guys were working on defensive drills in practice, a lot of one-on-one battles and positioning, stuff like that.
Well, I think it's definitely something that each team that don't make the playoffs, I think you start kind of losing that momentum, that energy, that compete in your game that later part in the year. I don't know if I'm sure every team starts with it, but you lose it and you're not consistent enough in it. And definitely that's why you see the battle level, the one-on-one stuff, the compete game at the end of practice. I'm sure that's why we do it. We did some of the breakout staples that we want to do as a team that will be predictable, simple, let us play with a lot of speed and pace, and kind of guys like Larks and Razor, those guys can really use their speed, get up the ice and create some odd man rushes. But also I think it's smart and it kind of falls into our D zone coverage that we also talked about prior to the second practice with Boogie and some of the other staples. They kind of work hand in hand where you come in the zone and you kind of get some of the stuff to do for the breakout. And if it somehow doesn't work out, like hockey happens a lot, then you're kind of set up into your D zone coverage, which covers each layer defensively that you need to take care of in the importance level, like A to B to C chances basically. And from there, you just kind of hopefully break it out and raises your compete level to skate it out of zone.
It looked like the intangibles of practice were really good today. The energy level, the compete level, and really the physicality. Guys were more than willing to kind of knock each other around. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, no, it's you got to start leaning on guys. Like you can only do so many summer skates where you kind of just skate around, don't touch each other. It's honestly something even came in probably 2 weeks before camp, maybe 2.5, and I just started raising the bar too. I tried like in some of the little 3-on-3s we're doing. You can see like you want to get to a level where it's just like it's not even a question. That's just you get on the ice and you work, you give it all. And I think that's why some of the guys that like myself were brought in. We want to bring that level, that attitude that we're going to be competing every single practice. And even if that means we're going to be out there for 30 minutes during the year instead of maybe 45, 50, but you bring the intensity for long enough with all the travel days and everything, you still get the job done basically for the day. And that's what we want to do.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Last question, Max Boltman.
Hey, David, I know obviously you're just coming off one camp practice here, but from what you've seen today and maybe in the weeks leading up, like, what do you think this team's identity can be? What do you think this team can do well?
Yeah, like I said, just playing a lot of pace with some of the staples that we're starting to learn right now. Oh, sorry, the light just turned off. I think it's time for me to go. No, I think like that's something that I'm not sure that we know fully yet. As far as that was just day one. I think for me, I view this as when I got to Vegas, our team identity is something we needed to build, and you're trying to build it as soon as you can. That way it creates momentum in your game, and just the attitude that you bring to the rink, you just know you have a chance to win every night, and then you can carry that into bigger things after that. So we got to get to that first step right away, and that's starting to be predictable for ourselves defensively, breaking out the puck like we talked about. We're going to get into more systems as we go. I think it's probably too early to tell, but we have a lot of guys that have a lot of skill, and I think if you take care of your own end, that's something this team struggled in the past. It's going to allow more opportunities offensively, less time spent in the zone. And if we take care of the puck, and at times I know it's not comfortable for some of the young guys, but you play the right way and you play for the game to stay tight, and they have enough skill that when they have one chance, they'll put it in. So for me, that's how I view games. I try and play the right way at all time on the ice, but also it's time to bear down your chances when you get them.
Thank you.
Yep. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We will be back shortly.